Okay, here we are at the cold food machine. Just took it out. So I'm assuming, I don't, anyway. All right, here we look at the pink is more or less the ground. It should be an all, right? Pink's on top, pink's on top, pink's on top. I assume you put those in where they should have gone. So if we start from here, we look at the shortest wire, green and that, yes, that looks right. What's the next shortest? The yellow, yes, that looks right. So we keep going in order, but then we get to this one. See all these pinks? They're all skipped. Like this red is here. It sure seems like this pink should probably be here. I don't think it goes here, but we'll try it. So pink would go here, red would go here. And then the next in line would be this pink, because that's next in line, or this pink. Most likely it's this pink because we have a motor here. It's a double motor, so that means if it were a single motor, we'd have another motor here and then a motor here. So we would have skipped one, which is why this is the next one here. And then you skip one, and then this one. It probably doesn't matter whether it's this one or this one on here, though. I'm just worried about this one. This one has to be here, and red has to be here. So let's try that. All right, so I got that off. I put the pink on here, and you had orange here. I'm gonna, this red and orange look the same, so I'm gonna leave the orange there, and let's see what happens. Okay. I got the tray back in, a little bit of a work. So one thing to make sure of is that these all get seated down there. When I tried to put that in, it wouldn't quite go back. It's like, well, something's blocking it. And it turns out it's, well, you can't see, but it's the big power cord that comes off the wall here, and it wraps around. When this is new, there's zip tied in. Well, it's all loose now. So when I pulled that all the way out, that power cord would sit behind the tray, and that's what was blocking it. So I had to just kind of reach up and pull it up and get the tray back in. So, all right, here we're back in. One thing I wanted to show you, when I first got here, powered on. When I first got here, the first thing I did was went into service mode and did a motor count, which is service mode 2. What that tells you, or what that does, because when I got here, a lot of these motors were like not in their home position, like especially down in here. Drumsticks were up here, you know, they were here, this thing was over here, hot pockets were off, you know, all kinds of these were in the wrong position. So by hitting motor count, service mode, this tells you, of course I just turned it off, I'll reset the health timer. That tells you how many motors are operating. You can do this in all the machines. 27s, it's good to know what that number is, you know, just doing it over and over, you kind of know. This one's gonna be 32, there's 32 motors. Your cold food machines might vary, but 27. So if you count these motors, they should equal 27. It might be off by one because you've got some double motors in there. But when you hit that 2, I'm going to hit 2. See, it goes through and it's sending a signal to every motor, and you see that if any motor is not in the home position, it will turn it. As you saw, both of those just turn. And it'll put it in the home position. And it will also tell you if a motor is not working. So look at this, we got 25 now, it was 27. So let's just see if our bottom row might be in there. We're still in home, so we're gonna, oops, never mind. I'm going to hit service. I'm going to go into test vend, and I'm gonna hit 60. And motor 60 is turning. Going to turn again because the sensor didn't go. There's 2 turns. Okay. So 60's working. Let's hit 62. That's the one we changed. Not NA. You can see that. Let's try 61. No, let's try 63 because you see there's no 61 or 63 on there. 63 turned it. All right, so when we hooked that up, it must have been that, remember I kept the orange wire on the bottom instead of the red. So I'll bet you red is 62, orange is 63. Let's try 64. Yes. And there. 65. Yes. Okay. So the only culprit, we're all working on that tray now. We just had to switch that 63 wire to 62. And while I was here, some guy said 55 was not working. So let's hit 55. NA. All right, we're gonna have to check 55. There's something wrong with that motor. And remember, we went down to 25 motors. Let's just check these others. 50 worked. 52 worked. And if you see what I'm doing here, when I hit test bin, I don't have to let the thing go all forever, like all a full turn. If I hit, watch, I'm in my test bin mode, I'm gonna hit 53, and as soon as it starts turning, which tells me it's working, I'm just gonna hit the star to stop it. So 53, there. So yeah, I don't have to let it keep going and going and going. 54, yes. All right, so that whole tray is working except for 55. And just for kicks, since 55 is on the end, I'm gonna try 44. All right, 44 works. All right, pause it again here. I'm gonna take this tray out, switch that bottom row, and also check out 55 to see what's up. And by the way, is milk supposed to be $3.50? And is $3.60 the right price on that burrito? And I don't know what Oreos are. Those look like that was moved. I don't know. Oh, it's probably supposed to be $1.75. If I look at price on 32, $3.50. Okay. So, since this is the bottom row, what I did was just, instead of removing everything and unplugging it, I just pulled it to there and set it on the ground like this. So like I said, we're going to, I think it's, instead of orange, it must be red, because orange must be 63. So, okay, so checking out this, I'm looking, remember how I said it's zip tied to the side, that's what keeps it from getting stuck. So you could go back and do that on the bottom row if you want. So on 55, I was thinking maybe one of these would come loose. It's extremely rare that a motor just goes bad. I mean, I don't know, maybe I've replaced 2 motors in 20 some years. So it's usually the wiring. I don't see anything that looks odd about that. Could be a slight, just, you could try a different motor, but the other option is just don't use that selection, you know. I'm gonna move those croissants to a different selection, leave 55 open. I just, everything else works on the row, so I wouldn't go replacing this whole thing. But if you find that you get another one falling out, that maybe it'd be time to replace this whole wiring as well, which again is nothing big. I mean, $30. Yeah, so you can see if the other one, you can see how some are missing. It's because you got these bigger rows that were skipped. It's made, that wiring is made for 6 motors, and since there's only 5, that's why it is there. So anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna skip that. I don't see visually anything wrong with it. What else could be the problem? I mean, I don't know, other than a bad motor, which is a simple pop it out, put it in, put it back in. But you don't want to spend 30, 40 bucks on doing that. I'd just leave it empty. It's not like it's a giant deal in something like this. Okay, yes, 62 is now the correct one. If I go 8, 62, there you go, turning. And I'll just let that go so it gets in the right spot. Actually, it's okay, it'll hold it in, no big deal. All right, so that is the scoop. And I did reset the health timer. We'll close this up. And that's how you do it.